Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Chatting Breeze, episode 18 here. Up this week, we have got the big bad boys behind Goddezz, London-based label pushing all things. Well, I'm not going to spoil it because we actually get into the kind of sound that they're pushing with the label in the episode. So no pre-episode spoilers for you. These guys are absolute angels. Had such a good time recording this episode with them. Big up to them for coming on. It's hugely appreciated. We chatted loads of stuff, everything from Jeremy Kyle to their first ever release on the label, to COVID, to Prime, the energy drink, not the Amazon subscription service, Tom Hanks. I'm just looking through my notes. Loads of stuff basically. So yeah, cracking episode this. And as always, it has already been out for about a week now on the Patreon. That's patreon.com/belters. If you want to join the Belters Club, you also get all of our forthcoming tunes. I'm about to put the next EP that comes out, not even the one that I've just announced, but the one that comes out at the end of March. That's right, March is going to be going up there within the next few weeks. So make sure you get on that if you want to get involved and support the label. Right, I'm going to go now. Enjoy the episode. It's a cracker. And yeah, hit up Goddezz if you don't know them already, which you probably do. Okay, bye. Right. Can I just get a check, boys?
Check, come on.
Sorry.
It's alright, lad.
What's going on?
Hello.
Check.
Yo, check.
Oh, we are coming in hot.
Are we?
That's fine.
But maybe I don't need to be that close.
I mean, it's an MC mic, so you're good to come in hot.
One, two.
You know what that'll do? I'm just going to hit a clap so we can sync these suckers up. And we're live.
Hit that clap. Hit that clap nice.
Come on. It'll bring my club tea closer, actually.
Close that door.
Oh, yeah, actually, if you could push the door. Oh, yeah. It doesn't close properly. It's okay.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back to Chatting Breeze. Episode, I think, 18. Lucky number 18, boys.
Nice, thank you.
Oh, right. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I was speaking to the audience at home then. Sorry. This evening, I have got a very special couple of guests with me. We are here with the boys behind legendary label Goddezz. Legendary? Yeah, there we go.
Take that.
How you both doing? You all good?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Happy to be here, mate.
Yes,
yeah.
mate.
You're here for the Ollie Kirk Love-In session later on,
the
correct?
Mayor of Bristol invited us.
The Mayor of Bristol.
He is the Laird of Bristol.
As he is commonly known amongst Bristol folk. Yeah.
The Madam. He runs his town, man. No, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Going back to back with Corrupt Dater.
Yes.
We've been admirers of... that was like a big inspiration us for starting Goddezz.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he was putting out tunes on
Yeah,
the
just thought it was super cool.
Interesting, I didn't know that. How long, because I scrolled back through you guys' Instagram for a little while, like back to the right, very, very bottom. I didn't realise you guys have been going since like, I want to say like late 2019, maybe?
We did events first. We did
Right.
like actual like parties.
Yeah, is it like 2018, 2019?
End of 2018, and then we started parties in 2019 after a year of planning it. I can't remember.
When lockdown hit, we were like, let's do a label. Let's do the label.
What we always wanted to do, really.
Yeah.
We talked about it for
What were the parties like initially?
Really bad. Oh, no.
yeah.
They were good.
Total mess.
The first one we had Coco Bryce and we had Angel Delight. Before she was called Angel Delight, she was called A Boy From Outer Space.
A Boy From Outer Space, yeah.
For your first party, you put those two?
It was Happer
as well.
Coco Bryce, and A Boy From Outer Space.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it was still under the name Goddezz, I presume.
Yes, we never changed it.
Never changed.
And
never change. Please.
Come on.
Never change. Don't do it.
Never change. So that was in 2018, did you say?
I think so.
End of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you ran a few parties for a little while. Were they all sort of around London or?
Yeah. They're all London. But there was only like 3, I think we did. And then, but we've always wanted to do more parties out of London, get out of the bubble, you know.
Are you both from London originally or?
I'm from London.
I'm from Greater Manchester.
I'm from London.
Actually,
very like Tracy Beaker energy. I'm from London.
Why did you move to London from Manchester then?
Oh, I was a Pied Piper and I needed some new flutes. So I just thought, you know what?
Nice.
Better
Pardon?
move your way down.
Yeah.
Well, so when you got a problem? No. You what?
Like,
I'm
Bring it
conscious,
down
Ollie,
a notch.
Should I
you're
get
not-
in more?
You're not on the screen, Ollie.
I'm
Move to the
shy.
left a
I'm
little.
shy.
Swizzle, there
Am
we
I
go.
on the
Zoom?
Yeah, you're there. You're there. I can see you. There we go.
Yeah, I moved down because there wasn't much going on for me in Manchester. I could have gone down the whole jungle, hip hop, whatever was going on in Manchester, but I didn't. I need a job. There's no jobs in Manchester in 2014 for me. Yeah,
And that was when you moved to London in 2014.
came here in 2014. Yeah, with
And
my girlfriend.
it sounds like you already kind of had some sort of interest in the music then.
Yeah, I was making music since I was in high school, but I properly started releasing when I was in
Was
college.
it high school? Isn't that weird?
High school.
High school.
Was it American? You're a skater.
I
guy
watch
in
a lot
high
of
school.
American things.
I like it. I like
But
it.
do they call it high school in Manchester?
Secondary, but I've been down here for a long time, and basically I live in America at the moment. So
I'm out in LA currently. Yeah. Your travel expense to get here was pretty weighty.
yes, Orange
Ollie
County
lays it
is
down,
like
yeah.
cost
Yeah, Ollie Kirk has
No
got
expense
that.
spare.
Yeah, I've been sipping too many chai lattes in Orange County. But, to be honest, I always wanted to come to London. I came down for a Swamp 81 night, which is like legendary, in 2013.
At
I
Heaven?
At Heaven. No, was it? Yeah, it was Heaven actually, yeah. And I got lost in London, and I actually was happy that I got lost. So I thought, I want to come down here. And then, and actually you were my first mate pretty much in London, the month I moved down.
Yeah, that's a good point. How did the both of you meet? What was tell us the love story? The meet cute, if you will.
I didn't wear
Magical.
protection.
I was working at Winter Wonderland as what was it, like an elf?
Yes, you were.
There's got to be a photo of that
No,
somewhere.
I'm just joking. I'm just
I'll
joking.
put it behind us on the green screen now.
It was like a classic.
You used to have he used to have a tail though, and then I had to cut it off.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Sorted.
Like Avatar vibes.
Right,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, I was quite shy about that.
Yeah.
You sorted me out.
You were backing singer for the Pink Floyd tribute
For
band.
The Who.
For the Who, that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I thought I
Who
recognised
tribute.
you from somewhere.
Yeah, you were the Who tribute. Like,
But I had to leave
yeah.
those guys, man.
Yeah.
It's bad news,
They're
man.
too young for him, man. Like, yeah. But
They
Yeah.
kept trying to do hip hop all the time. I was
Yeah.
like, guys, this is crazy.
oh yeah, they always used to do the reach around joke view, didn't they as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we met in his classic smoking area meet.
Right.
Where I was like a big fan of Callie's music from YouTube.
We'd been chatting actually before that, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, we were pen pals.
When I was in college, I actually
Yeah,
was chatting to you
yeah.
and then we met at Corsica Studios smoking area,
Was
and
it
I
you?
was going to see The Who with my dad.
yeah.
That's where I was,
I
and you were
see.
playing, and I was like, I gotta go,
It was-
gotta see The Who, man.
It was on a Sunday morning,
It
actually,
was,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Jaded.
Jaded.
It was like a party. I don't know if it's still going actually.
Party that starts at like 7 in the morning on Sunday.
Can you
Yeah.
remember who was playing at all?
Oh no.
Oh
Me.
no.
I was playing.
Apart from you, of course, yeah.
I remember that I was playing.
Yeah.
That's the only important thing, really, right?
No, I was really actually I wasn't that good. I mean, to be honest, I was pretty shocked that I was playing at a techno party because I just felt like I naturally glided into that sort of scene. But you were already a part of it, kind of, because of the
Yeah.
label Them.
Yeah,
You
it was
were
part
on.
of a different thing then that was called Them,
Yeah,
and we did parties at Corsica Studios.
Yeah.
It was very like techno-y though.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the scene you originally come from, would you say?
I think we both were. That's where we met in that scene, and it was like very dark and industrial.
Yeah.
And we realized quickly that we both like had like this secret like love for euphoric rave music
Bliss.
and orbital and
Underworld,
underworld and stuff
yeah.
like that. And then we like started to just like feed each other those kind of tunes all the time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, is that... Because I was going to try and ask you to sort of... It's tough to sort of define the sort of sonic vibe that your label gives because it's so varied. Like, I remember some of the first tunes that I listened to when I first got into like dance music because I think I might be a little bit younger than you two boys.
I reckon, yeah. I reckon.
Like one of the first tunes that I had on my USB when I first started DJing was the El Major Love Ain't Easy
Oh, really?
Yeah, the remix.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That-
I mean, that was a big remix.
That was- it was.
Such, you
It's-
flipped.
Yeah, I love that.
But I would
love
also
that.
say that like the sound that you guys push is varied and you know it has those hard hitting stuff. It also has like the more euphoric rave stuff. Like if someone was to ask you to define the sound, like the Goddezz sound, what would you say?
It's an amalgamation. of different things, but I
it's
think
like
the
we
feeling
always
of
say, yeah. So you go.
I do feel like, I mean, like it's a fun. There's always a fun element. There's always like a fun sort of. Sometimes tongue in cheek. It started off quite more. We used to be more tongue in cheek.
But at the
really?
time, it felt tongue in cheek to be into that stuff because everything. Well, our scene.
Yeah.
Was quite serious.
I see.
And then so we were like, the only way that we could play this stuff on the radio was like, oh, this is a bit of a laugh, and we're playing a bit of Orbital. It's a bit like, oh, but like Orbital's like funny, but it's not. And then now it's become more like welcome back into like euphoric
Kind
tunes.
of a bit like the sort of donk thing maybe now.
Yeah. I think it's just post-lockdown. People are like, oh, fuck, being serious all the time.
Yes.
Like, let's just
It's
enjoy
not.
ourselves.
It's people running out of seriousness. Like, eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened. I mean, when you, just to go back what you were saying about we were kind of like, I was personally, I was kind of scared to kind of do something else because I thought, oh God, everyone's kind of expecting me to stay in this techno world. And we both talked about how we said we don't want to go on this like journey to be like this DJ in the techno scene. Like it just didn't appeal.
Yeah, we didn't feel like we fit into that, and then like finding each other would like unlocked this like we gave each other confidence to like try something.
It can be quite a sort of like, at least from like an outsider's perspective, quite like a sort of a scene that has a very strict like vibe to it. You know, and I feel like it's one of them where it's like if you want to do if you want to go further down that scene, you have to sort of put across a certain image.
Yeah.
Do you still follow that at all? Do you feel like that's changed, like in that sort of like more harder industrial techno scene? Do you know what it's saying nowadays at all?
No idea, man.
No.
I'm out of it.
I think it's become commercial as far as I know. It's like techno, Berlin techno has become very...
Well, it's like business techno now, isn't it? It's that whole thing.
Well, it is a business, isn't it? It makes a lot of money.
It makes a lot of money,
agencies. It makes a lot of money for artists, and it's like you know, it's Spotify. It's like Spotify. They got an eye on it, and there's like playlists for it. And
it's weird. I mean, we just totally locked off that world, like because we found our own world that we like to be in, so we just kind of like left that alone.
Do you think that was maybe part of the reason why you moved away from it was because of the more commercial direction it was going in, or were you not conscious of that at the time?
I don't think we felt that at the time. It was still like very industrial, and then we kind of parted ways with it when it was still like underground, and the UK techno scene was like really. It was popping, like it was fun. It was just like we wanted something a bit more. I don't know. I don't know what. Well, you asked like how did we describe the label originally, and then I guess euphoria is like a main word. And also taking something from all strands of rave music because there's so many different. It goes off in so many different directions, and we kind of want to like.
Well, if you listen to rave music from early 90s or even like late 80s, early 90s, going up to like. The noughties, there was dynamics in sound production. There was like it's a bit more honest, and it was a bit and you can actually put that into what we as our sound. There's a lot of dynamics to it. And it's because we don't want a strict sort of. We've never been.
Well,
really
that
strict
was
with
we were rebelling against the strictness of certain scenes. I think where it's like it has to sound like this, and it has to be this. This is where the drop has that. It's like. It was all a bit boring, and we really love tunes from the 90s because they're like so naive, and they're like in the nicest way. They do crazy shit, like it will just stop and there'll be a piano breakdown, and it just like it's so much more fun. I think
it's that attitude of like because it wasn't done before, there was no one to say how it was supposed to be done.
Exactly. And I
Maybe.
think it's still hard to beat those 90s tunes because they just have that kind of like, I don't know, we'll just chuck that in, that kind of like mentality. But some people manage to do it.
Risk taken.
There's definitely still things being made that are like that. I guess. I mean, there's definitely sort of nostalgia to the label as well as obviously something. Same sort of thing you were mentioning, even in like the sort of visual style of things. I would say you guys have got a very sort of like very specific, very striking sort of like visual aesthetic. Like, how did you? Because even like I said, I scrolled right to the bottom of your Instagram. You've always had these like really cool sort of like graphics. It's like some sort of weird like space sort of world. These big like monolithic like structures and these big orbs and like all this fucking crazy shit. Like, where did that idea come from? And like, how did you do it from? Because I guess when you're starting, things are very grassroots, and you're having to do most of it either yourself or through friends or through for lack of a better phrase, just like just taking what you can. Do you know what I mean? How did you come up with such like a striking visual aesthetic from day one, basically?
That's a good question, man. I still try to figure out where we got it. I guess it does come from the 90s, like, and the turn of the century.
By the way, it's completely okay to say that you stole it off Pinterest as well. If
Yeah.
There's lots of Pinterest boards. Got about 500.
I think actually we had like that kind of idea. Like I love the monolithic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not movies.
Big.
It's movies.
Yeah,
it's like
sci-fi.
all your big movie. Like we watch a lot of movies. A lot of the old films are great, and there's a lot of standout films with the imagery and stuff.
Yeah.
There's always the Greek mythology thing, which has always been a common thing that we've shared.
Yeah, for sure.
That's always been like a big part of the.
But we found some artists like early on that we were just like fucking with on Instagram. Like Maria Vorobyova has been with us from the start, and she's like, we kind of grew with her. Like we didn't, we definitely had a policy of like, we didn't want to get artists and be like, we want it to be like this. We wanted to find artists that we just like their stuff, whatever they did, and then just go, this is kind of the idea. Can you make something cool? And then they'd always make something that we like. Yeah.
So wavelengths, isn't it? It's just the way it wouldn't. Maybe it's the way of the world. Maybe we just, I don't know. Maybe we just naturally
so
end
deep.
That way.
So
I know,
deep.
man. Mariana Trench.
How? I guess the question then is like, how important do you think a label's like visual aesthetic is to its like success?
Well, it's quite. I mean, standing out is just like standing out amongst things. You know.
Yeah.
It gives something longevity. It gives like, you know, when you're like you're looking back into the past and you're excavating, you find something sticks out to you.
Yeah.
You know, that it pops.
Yeah.
Out in front of you. That's like an important thing.
I think it's like it's almost as important as the music to me. Like the artwork, but that's just me. Like I've always been more like the artwork gives it the vibe. Like it
sets the
scene of it.
Just like when you go record shopping, like it's you sometimes it depends on how you're looking for records, but you know you pull the sleeve out.
Yeah,
that mic is just so it keeps like slipping down. I'm so sorry.
I think I share a soul with this microphone. It's you know it's the whole picture. You get the whole thing. You have to do it from. Image to music.
I mean, I love it. I love the whole artwork side of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's probably even only increasing importance now due to all like, you know, social media and all this like bullshit. The fact that people need to be like
all this bullshit.
It's such a necessary evil now to grab people instantly, and there's no better way to do that than with like an incredibly striking like visual.
I mean, the one thing I'm trying to understand at the moment is. Yeah, we've got to respect the fact, and I've got to respect the fact as an artist that people like to have it that way, to belong to a specific, like they like to look the same as other people,
right?
You know, which is totally understandable because some people do, you know.
Yeah.
But
in what sense could you?
Well,
explain?
I mean, it might help. It helps people to look, you know, to you know, if you're part of a scene, you'd want to appeal to the scene, but you know, we've never really been part of a scene, have we? In London, we were never part of like a big community, were we?
No.
So
we
all
kind of American rejects.
Yeah. So it was just
Yeehaw.
The only Yanks in London.
Orange County, yo,
big on my Orange County.
Oh God.
So do you
the Orange County audience gone.
Yes, what the hell, man? I had like thousands of listeners in OC, bro.
Shout out to the OC,
really
man.
Good. I remember watching that.
Never watched it actually.
That's when we bonded on OC, man.
Did you?
How old are you, Moss?
How old do you think I am?
I reckon you're like.
I know this is terrible podcast content.
2017.
Let me just measure. 2017. 26.
You think I'm 2017 years old?
2017.
I'm 23.
23, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a little baby.
Hey, don't ask me.
No babies here, man.
I know you're not supposed to ask beautiful women their age, but how old are you boys?
I'm not telling you, man. I just turned 31.
I'm vampiric.
And you're 30.
You turned 31?
He's 31 in January.
My dad's 31.
Get out of here. Get out of here. I'll buy that for a minute.
I'm your dad.
Oh my god. It's this fucking Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, Geezahs.
Yeah. He's a good. Ever seen him?
He's a good guy, Jeremy. No one's ever said that.
Have you ever seen them clips on YouTube of like him? There's like Alan Partridge moments of.
He's
Jeremy
best
No.
accidental partridge
Really?
ever.
I've not seen that. I love Alan Partridge. I have to see that.
Best accidental partridge the other day. I won't say which DJ it was on NTS,
Yeah.
but they were playing a lot of reggae music, and he just went, "Oh God, what an island that Jamaica is. What a magical, mysterious
just
place.
can't
And
write
I was
it.
like, no way.
You can't write
That
it,
is
man.
so good.
Mysterious place.
Oh my god!
He like almost couldn't get it out. He was just like so enamored by the tunes.
You know, I'm such a big Partridge fan. I'm so glad you brought it up. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eyes out for more accidental partridges now.
Who's that guy that's on Master Chef, the bald one that
Oh, Greg
everyone
Wallace.
hates?
Oh, did you
Yeah.
read his day in the life?
I've not read it,
article?
but
I
I've
saw
heard
it
that.
Oh
when
my-
he says, he's halfway through his day, he's like, and I spend time with my son. And he says, and what does he say?
He's just like,
he's got like learning difficulties or something.
Yeah, and he was like, you know,
what are you saying, man?
I think he said like, yeah, I told my wife I didn't want a child,
Yeah.
and she's aware of that, but you know, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And he also says every day he goes to eat lunch at the Harvester, and he's like, oh,
this is the Partridge bit.
yeah, and he's like, I can't remember the exact quote, but he's like, you know, food's all about expectation. You know what you're gonna get.
You get what you get.
He's like, they got a full salad bar and grilled chicken breast. Like,
I know he
what
says,
more is there
like,
to say?
I've had bad meals in Michelin star restaurants,
Yes.
but never at the Harvest.
Yeah, but do you know what's even funny? He goes for the Harvester before he spends time with his son, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I gotta read
He
this, man.
chooses the Harvester over his son.
It's big news. This
You
thing.
have to read it. You have to read it.
He was a grocer, though. He used to be a grocer, apparently.
He was a greengrocer.
Can
before he
definitely
was-
see that.
Yeah.
Definitely see that.
He's not even a chef, though. I think is he?
No,
I think
don't
he's just
he
a
is.
greengrocer that
I think
is now a
he
TV
gave,
presenter.
he gave his products to the chefs. I think that's how he got his like.
Right.
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, some
Anyway.
New Zealand chef. I don't know.
Are you going to get him on the label?
Dude, you're letting all the
Why you
secrets out, man. Come on, you said.
Why did you?
We don't
Tell me he was going to be like it.
Greg Wallace dubs, mate.
GW Dubs. Well, he had that big tune, didn't he? Buttery Biscuit Bass.
That wasn't his tune. but that
Just the
was-
VIP coming out soon.
Right. Anyway. So
I'm glad we covered that.
where? Yeah. No, me too. Where are we at in the timeline right now? So you did events through 2019,
Yeah.
and when did you start the label? Can you remember your first actual foray into
I feel like
releasing music?
April 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
yeah.
Straight into
Bang
lockdown.
on, April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like when we I was made redundant from a job that I had, like a day job, and I can't remember what were you doing at the time?
I was furlough.
You were
yeah.
furlough. And
Living
I was
the dream.
furloughed. I was
Got
furloughed.
that furlough money, baby,
Yeah.
and then just wanted to do a compilation to kind of like put a stamp on what we thought was like this new like rave revival.
Sure.
I hate revivals,
Yeah.
but
Why do you hate revival?
all right, I got this theory, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because everyone goes on it. Yeah, you're hearing this now. I'm gonna set the record straight.
This is Joe
Right,
Rogan of
guys,
the
listen
Euphoria.
here, okay?
But, and I said this to Remo Teeth the other day. He's like, "Nah, that's bollocks, man."
Oh,
But,
no.
I just like thought like because there's the revival stuff. There's like, oh, it's come back. Jungle's come back. UKG. How many times has UKG come back now? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just about, innit?
It's always
It's
been
just
about, innit?
it's just a thing.
Oh, that's a selling point saying that though.
And,
saying
like,
it's,
think-
just, it's coming back. That's like a selling
Yeah, I
point.
guess
Sure.
it does help with the
Someone's
like,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know how long the Baroque period was, for example,
Here we
but I
go.
know it was a fucking long time, right? That was like maybe 100 years or something like that.
It was
It's like,
Baroque then school.
why aren't we having our like? They're not. I don't know. They're not going to look back and. I just think it's all happening now, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
90s to now. It's
such
all
a
one
small
thing.
window,
It's
yeah,
all
it's not-
one
You
thing.
see it all as one big block.
I see it as a big block. Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. I've not heard anyone have that perspective before. I've heard people say that, oh, you know, garage is sort of, you know, it's never left, etc., etc. But it's difficult, isn't it?
it
Because
just comes in waves. All this stuff.
Well, you
like
just put the word post
good-
in there, and then it's still,
Yeah.
it's still alive, isn't it? It's like post garage, post punk. is
post
still
implies that it's gone.
What do you
right?
reckon's
Or-
up next anyway? What's the next
What's
one?
up next?
You know the circle
What was that?
comes
tune?
back.
What?
Dubstep's not
Krautrock.
coming back.
I don't know.
Krautrock.
Krautrock making a big comeback. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually got a Krautrock VA coming out in the next few
Do
weeks.
you?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, for
oh,
real.
that's amazing.
Really?
Are you taking the piss? No.
Got you.
We should do that. We do that.
It's interesting. I mean, yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? Like, because surely using that logic, using that theory, there is no such thing as trends then, like the in genre and like all these things.
I think there's trends. There's definitely but I think it's just when people like there's like the jungle revival that happened. It was just a bunch of like-minded producers that started making tunes in the same kind of scene, and it just like bubbled up into lots of good jungle tunes. I think there was still lots of jungle being made between when it was big and now, but like maybe they just weren't as good tunes or something.
So what's the definition of revival in your head then? Because to me that sounds like it's having a revival if there's a bunch of like-minded
I mean, there's so many holes in my theory.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
so many.
Like you say, Remotive told you.
Yeah, he was like, no, that's rubbish, man. And I was like, yeah, but it's cool to say.
I've already forgotten what your theory was. I'm not gonna lie. What was it?
No such thing as revivals. Like since the 90s to now, it's all the same.
Revival is like, for me, it's like when you do vinyl reissues. That's a revival. That's when you revive
something,
right?
Revive it.
It's
bring
like,
it, resuscitate
like
it.
Make a sale on it and bring it back and then...
Right.
This, you know what? It's revived when young people have, left home and left wherever they live and go to a city and start raving and like, oh my God, I've fucking heard this before. That's revived.
Oh, like Deftones are having a big like comeback with
because of
Gen Z and that because of TikTok.
Well, we've noticed the new metal fashion is was been back for a few.
Yeah,
been back. It's I don't know if it's ever left, but I see
that's
a
the
lot
same
of
thing, isn't
students.
it?
Yeah. But when I used to wear
though.
like new metal stuff, I would probably get shit thrown at me. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, like, yeah. But then I was telling you before, I used to wear a No Fear bandana and a paisley bandana, which I found out
paisley bandana is crazy,
and like chain on and stuff like, and I was. But is that even? I mean, I noticed a few bands are trying to do some sort of new metal thing at the moment. And it's like it's cool. It's cool. Well, it's not like angsty.
You're making new metal as well.
I was gonna say, are you both into your live music at all, or?
Yeah,
well, we do unfortunately share a passion for new metal.
Unfortunately,
no, it's not my joke. But no, that was one thing actually we had in common. Definitely, we were into like
Limp
sort
Bizkit.
Of. Did you like Paramore? I'm trying to remember.
I wasn't big Paramore. I was.
Careful, you're being recorded, by the way.
Oh shit, Haley, I love you.
I loved Limp Bizkit, Korn. I was a mosher. So I was like,
oh really?
I used to be a mosher and like a new metal sort of person. But
what year would that have been?
Well, I was
really old.
Well, not that. I mean, I'm not. My brother got me into it, and he's like 37 now, I think. But I was quite young, so I was probably about, it was 2000, so I was about 9 or 10 years old. And kids about my age were wearing this sort of stuff. And
the big chains and shit.
But I was well angsty at that age, and it worked. Like, it was like, oh my God, Evanescence. Remember the music
That was the crazy thing, is that like the most popular bands, and they were like, it was wearing that like being super angsty on your sleeve. Like now that's not like really... I don't know. I have no idea.
We don't know what young people...
But like the biggest band, the biggest band in the world was Korn. Like that's insane.
But they've just done the Korn have just done Korn, like Korn, the food like that you get.
Like the fake meat.
Yeah, you get it from the grocery store. But they've just done like they've just released like loads of gear with Adidas. Have you seen it?
Yeah, shoes and that.
But that's it's like they've not really been in a commercial world for a long time, and then suddenly they're all there, and like people are buying their gear, and it's all sold out, and it's like
they're seeing that the Gen Z are loving it. Man, we sound old as fuck, man.
I don't know what Gen Z.
You remember Korn with a K?
We're the end of millennium children. We are the end of millennium children, basically.
Like as in like the older end or the younger end. The younger end, right?
Well, we were kind of like. When's your last memery? Like mine's.
We were talking about that. Do you remember Diana dying? Do you remember Tupac dying? You were there when Tupac shot.
You killed Tupac.
No, we're not talking about this on air, man. Because
come on, man.
I'm gonna get the court round.
Man. We're gonna start taking the mics off. I'm good. Fuck this shit.
No, I got a wire on. Okay. I mean, I don't have a wire on.
How could you do that?
I know that. To be honest, that does. I'm just thinking about new metal and stuff like that. Like that kind of that we grew up with that, and it's kind of shaped.
But we were mad young when it was big. That's the thing. So we didn't get to actually like go to the concerts.
But you were also super impressionable, right? So that was probably having a big impact on you if you were culturally aware at that age.
Yeah,
right?
and that's the same with the trance stuff. Like we always say, like the first time we were exposed to loud hardcore and trance was at fucking fairgrounds and stuff.
Of course.
And it was just like seeping into the sponge brain. And then years later it's like, oh shit, I love that stuff. You know what I mean?
I used to hear progressive house, and I don't even know if it must have been, it was in, I used to go to Greece because I'm Greek, and I remember when I shouldn't have probably been going to bars in Greece when I was like 12 or something, but they were playing it like, because my cousin used to take me, and it was like progressive house was being played, and it was all, that's where I heard it, and I was like, oh my God, this is actually like sick. It's like Mediterranean you're on a coast, listen to this music, and then I go back to the hotel and listen to like Evanescence. So that's like my that
Sounds like a good night out.
that's my life, man. But I mean, that's what I've always strived for. That sort of era, like that sort of. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like a funny time in the world, but I feel like
it's ridiculous.
Back to that. But
Do you think that's something that you guys channel now with the music and with the label and things? Not in terms of directly channeling that sort of like angsty Evanescence-y thing, but in terms of like channeling the sort of like strangeness of that whole sort of, what was it, early 2000s?
it'd be a dream too, wouldn't it?
I think
suppose?
it's constantly trying to capture that that feeling in a way.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff that there's DJ Deep Heat's next EP coming up is pure that. Like I listen to it every day because it kind of just like transports you
Really?
to that era. He's like captured it perfectly. Yeah,
Deep Heat's proper. He's
Deep
really,
Heat's the
really
best,
good.
Yeah,
man.
smart,
Shout
man.
out Deep Heat.
Such
every
a
time.
good producer.
Prolific.
Yeah.
So your first release was a compilation, right?
Yes.
That wasn't one with Love Ain't Easy on it.
That
was.
had Coco Bryce's original Love Ain't Easy.
Yeah, original one.
Which later came out as a single on a collab. We did like a collab label with Coco
Yeah.
called My God, because his label's called Mayo and we're called Goddezz. And we're called
Right.
My God. That was his smart
Very
idea.
smart, yeah.
Extremely smart. He's so smart.
Marketing genius.
And that's when we printed it on pink vinyl with the remix on the flip.
Okay.
Because the tunes are just so big. Like, Coco's obviously like a perfect producer, but them both of them together.
Yeah, I can't believe I
Both
nearly
legends.
turned down Love Ain't Easy. I remember. I was
Really?
like, I don't get it, and he was like, it's fucking great, man. I was like, I'll trust you. I'll trust you.
Oh my god. So
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that first release was, looking back in hindsight, it was quite a big. Like, we were thinking, like, how did we get away with doing such a variety of tracks on one release, and it works. It actually works.
I don't know. Yeah, we were hitting up people cold, like they had no idea who we were, but we were just super nice. I think we were like, we love your
we
music.
did know a few people.
We knew a couple, but like X Coast and Adam Pitts.
Yeah, it was a huge, especially for a first compilation. There's some absolutely crazy names on there.
I think it was helped with the lockdown because it just happened and everyone was like, I'm fucking bored. And then like out of the blue, a label was like, hey, we're going to do something. They're like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'll give you a tune. Like, I think
That's
that
so
definitely
interesting.
helped. Because if we tried it again now, people would be like, nah, I've got better shit to do, man.
Everyone's busy again.
Do you reckon there were less sort of like start-up independent labels around then as well? Like, do you think maybe that was why you managed to get such like a large...
I don't know personally about startup, but I don't remember.
I think that a lot of good labels started at that time. Yeah, I think because like for the same reason people were...
Lockdown,
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah,
people
yeah.
was just like, what do I do? And it's like, oh, I won't
It
start a
was
label.
going to eventually happen with us, I think. But it was just...
So is the
lockdown
idea,
brought
yeah.
it- Yeah, it's. I think we always wanted it to come into fruition.
Yeah.
But it was... Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we did that. I'm so happy we did it at that
I'm
time.
glad.
Yeah. We had a lot... We planned... because we had a lot more time, we planned so well, didn't we, as well? What was coming up when we got down to what the next year was going to be.
Yeah, we don't
got
do that
together, we were
anymore.
like, oh my god, shit, we got like... we got too much. We did way too much. Because obviously everywhere started opening up. You weren't certain about what was going to open up again, and it was like people started getting busy again, and it's like, oh my god, the whole world's opening up again. Like, there's a lot to do.
Crazy times.
Yeah. Everyone says that, don't they, when it's happening?
Yeah. What
Crazy.
weird times.
Oh,
man.
weird
Strange
times to be alive.
times. Yeah, it was when it was happening, everyone would say that as well. Strange times.
Yeah, we're unprecedented. Yeah.
Calm and whatever.
Now
It's
it's
a different one.
normal times, I guess.
Yeah.
So you were releasing pretty consistently then throughout lockdown, or...
Yeah.
Because that was a strange time for labels and everyone, right? Because it was like, it was almost like a thought of like there's no real reason for people to be outwardly like buying the music and like engaging with the music because no one's playing out, right? But people were still doing it obviously because you're playing
But
at
the
home.
opposite
and-
happened. Yeah,
Exactly,
people
yeah.
were like buying so much music.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because I think you're like kind of grasping at like what you had before, and like people got reinvigorated. It's like, oh shit, we loved that stuff we had before. We've got to make sure that it keeps going, you know. So there's a lot of that feeling, I think.
Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking then, I think a lot of DJs ended up making music in lockdown because, what
Yeah,
can they do
that's
next?
true. That's
Definitely.
true.
And I think we've worked with quite a lot of DJs, producers who were also DJs.
The DJs before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I know so many people, even like Papa Nug started producing during lockdown.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
like so many people that are absolutely crushing it now. Literally only started like mid-lockdown.
Yeah.
I think you just had so much time, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you need if you're like inclined towards music, you're gonna. I feel like if it's like your passion, you're never gonna stop doing it, and you'll do it whatever way possible you can do it. That's just me anyway.
yeah, maybe I'm just different.
Yeah, I'm just a weird sucker. Yeah.
Do you think that the sort of like the sound changed during lockdown because people were in more isolation? Like, do you think maybe that sort of helped you, especially with your sort of more like euphoria, sort of less like industrial hard stuff? Do you think?
Yeah. We had. I think it was end of 2020. We wanted to do an ambient compilation because we just said the world needs.
Yeah, that's true. We felt like we wanted to give like a bit of a healing kind of put out a healing sort of thing, meditative thing called it Taraxia. Yeah,
Great
that was
name,
cool.
Right? Who came up with that one? You came up with that name.
That was a weird one because we came up with the name and then I googled Taraxia and it actually means like well-being in Greek.
Really?
Yeah. So
I think it's a flower, like a plant, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. It is also a plant.
Mental.
Yeah.
And so, what stopped you from doing that in the end?
We did do that.
We did it?
We did that. Yeah.
It was a big project. Though.
I've done my research clearly. It's fucking hell.
It was definitely it was definitely left field choice to do things like that. It was like
it felt like a bit scary. Yeah, because we were just doing club focused stuff, and then it was like. But yeah, that was a great one. Yeah. It gets you into different like people's different fan base and stuff.
Well, that just comes back to like we never wanted to be pigeonholed, especially when we were starting out.
That classic. So you can't pigeonhole me. It's impossible.
We're not
if you try,
no, but it's so true though, and like there's like a big debate about like making different styles under like the same name, right? And whether or not, if you were to say decide you wanted to release an ambient project, whether to start like a sub-label or ever do something differently. But obviously, you guys have always had a very broad style and not gone down that path. Did you ever consider like doing the sub-label thing? Or?
We did with that release. We were like, because it was so different, we were like, should we start a new label called Taraxia?
Right.
But then we always came back to the thing is like our favorite labels, like Warp and XL, those are like the ones we look up to. They never did that. And now Warp puts out indie music. It puts out electronic music,
people
and that's where we want to go to, where we have a name where people can go. You don't know what you're gonna get, but hopefully it'll be good.
It's like basically we're like a news agents. Like you come in.
Yeah,
we
got Prime. We got Mars.
Yeah.
You got Elf Bars.
Yeah.
Round the back.
Well, not for long. Yeah, not for long.
Do you like Elf Bars?
You know what? I used to vape like a motherfucker, but I used to get the really big ones that you could like chuff, like have like fucking 6,000 puffs or whatever.
The lightsaber vibe ones.
Yeah. And I'd just be
my brother
sitting
fucks with them.
on my sofa, just like sucking away, and like I'd be thinking like it's making me feel like really like depressed. Like,
Really?
I don't know, but maybe it was just like the overload of nicotine like constantly. But I was sitting there thinking like this just makes me feel really like sort of like melty and just like I just fucking don't want to do
Doing it
anything.
inside. Like
it was in my living room.
I always feel like there's like the sort of ritual of like having a cigarette or like a whatever you do, and then you go outside and do it. I've always like thought like that was a.
You're a guilty smoker.
I am.
Every time you spark up, you're like, I don't usually do this. Literally every time you sparked up today, you're like, this is not what I usually do. I was like, you're allowed to smoke.
It's when there's a drink around or whatever.
Of course,
yes.
Of course.
I mean, I'm not an avid smoker. All right.
See.
Yeah,
Guilty.
Your mum is definitely listening, by the way. So.
I used to be, but I think as I got older. But yeah, no, the vape. I remember what turned me off vapes, and I think it was them big ones. It sounded like a bong.
Yeah.
Those are so unsexy. Those
but then
things,
the thought of bubbles
No
in
offense.
your
No, mate, not
so hilarious, mate. Rough house in this guy.
No, but I mean, it's all bad for you, isn't it? Like, obviously, it's all bad for you. It's just like but you've got to treat yourself. So
you do
gotta treat yourself.
But people used to like smoke inside in clubs and stuff, right? And I think when that stopped, people weren't smoking inside for a while, and then the vapes came, and then people started like essentially smoking inside the clubs again, right? With these vapes.
Yeah.
Now they're gone again. I was reading.
Are they gone?
Well, they're thinking about getting rid of them, right? I was reading something about the change that the smoking ban in like the mid 2000s, whatever it was, actually made to a clubbing experience, and to the impact it even had on like DJ sets, right? Because it became a thing of like, rather than you being able to go on like a journey, and people could just stay there and have a cigarette, you'd have to be constantly just hitting the audience with banger after banger so they wouldn't go out for a cigarette.
Oh, shit.
You know?
Well, that's way better than my theory I had earlier.
That's
good. That's good.
Well, actually, it's quite an important thing. I think smoking areas in clubs, dangerous. It's quite a dangerous thing, isn't it?
Smoking areas are annoying because some people go to clubs and just hang out in the smoking area.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
But
fuck you if you do that.
Yeah. Literally.
Yes.
Fuck. Fuck.
I think it gives people an incentive to like kind of not check out what journey someone's going to take you on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Where's the journey set?
It's the whole It's like, you know, when everyone, not everyone. I saw some people talking about how on social media DJs, when they're promoting themselves, they only show snapshots of their, like, was it Sunil Sharp? I can't remember if it's Sunil Sharp or someone, but they were saying like, you know, you only ever see the track that everyone loves, and then you don't see the rest of the set.
I hope that shit stops.
Yeah, well, you know,
the
the struggle of keeping a crowd happy. Like I didn't know how to deal with that, so I used to just shout at people.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need a microphone.
I think you did that in Corsica.
I used to do it.
You were like,
Corsica was
fucking dance.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I played after someone who was playing. Sorry, I was playing before someone. I won't say who he was because he's actually a really good producer, and I played a lot of his tunes out. But I ended my set, and I knew he was coming up. I knew what he was going to play, like just straight up like techno, butcher, Pat Butcher. But, it was just going to be that. I knew it was going to be that. It was like modular, and I played the Pac-Man theme, like the Pac-Man song, like, and his face was.
Oh, mate, you remember the other day we played that. What's that? You know, with the VHS before the film would play, it'd be like down. You wouldn't download.
Oh, you wouldn't download the.
We played that at the start.
Oh yeah, is that the Guy Contact edit?
Oh, did he do an edit of that? No, we just played a YouTube riff of it at the start.
There is a Guy Contact edit. Yeah.
Sick. I have to check that out.
See, it's all coming back. It's coming back. Yeah? Oh, it's coming back, man.
Bring that back. Whatever that genre was, bring it back, mate.
VH DVD intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't see that anymore anyway, do you? You wouldn't.
Well,
people don't watch DVDs.
They did it in
anymore.
lockdown. Remember?
Oh yeah,
the Tories
like
put that out,
Did
where
they?
it's like you wouldn't go to a party,
Yeah.
and it was the guy that made it must have been taking the piss, like, because it was bang on that VHS.
Oh
thing.
my god!
And I don't think the Tory party would have known that was like a thing. So they're just like,
That's
that
hilarious.
looks great.
Yeah,
Stick that out.
Yeah. It's interesting when you talk about the fact that, you know, like DJs, how they promote their sets, and it's all like playing like a clip of them playing one tune, etc.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you've had to promote quite a few nights and things. Is that something you're conscious of, like trying to like avoid that? Because it feels like, to me at least, from my limited experience of promoting, is that it almost seems like a bit of a necessary evil now because of the whole social media landscape. That is just what works. It's just like a clip of behind the DJ, them dropping a huge tune, everyone fucking losing it, you know, like
yeah, it works really good.
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely works, and I wouldn't knock it.
Yeah,
I think it's just a way. It's just a method of promotion.
Yeah. It's just the way it is, and like you kind of got to accept that. The only thing is, I can see that other parties that we're super jealous of, like they just managed to create this really underground thing where it's like Ormside, like people just go Ormside projects in London, and it's because it's just built a rep as like you're gonna have a good time there. They don't need to show that stuff. They just like people just turn up.
That's years and years and years and years of doing.
It takes a lot of work.
Parties, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ollie's more of a promoter background than me though. I've always been like the kind of.
It's super hard. Man. It's like it's really hard to figure out what the best way to do it is.
Yeah.
Who wears the trousers then?
What, in the relationship or the label?
Let's start with the label.
Can I have some water, please?
Do you actually want water?
Hat.
Do you actually need water?
Yeah, please.
I'm like, he wears the trousers.
Oh my god.
I'm joking. I don't know. I feel like
you wear the spiritual trousers.
Well, yeah. When we started out, there was different hats on, wasn't there?
Sure.
We figured out our hats. I think.
Yeah.
We figured out our hats. I'm admin bitch.
And I wear NYC.
And he's just like,
You got a Yankee with
yeah, I
the
got my
brim.
Yankee cap. Yeah, no, it was you. Well, yeah, I think. I mean, when you're starting something as like a team, you don't know straight away what your strengths are.
Sure.
And it's a journey, isn't it?
yeah, and then
But
you figure out where
Yeah.
you prefer to do stuff, and like
So I think we wear the same trousers.
yeah, one leg each.
Yeah, nice.
Both legs in
Mason
one leg,
Margiela.
Yes.
but facing away from each other like that.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for tomorrow's photo shoot.
Yeah, nice.
Pair of
Yes,
wear one
Wear
big
one
pair of trousers.
like the baggy trousers video or whatever. Like,
What's the back?
Oh, what madness?
Madness.
Oh, madness.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm from up north, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't listen to that shit.
sorry.
No, classic.
Do you not like
Obviously.
madness?
Of course, I like madness.
Do you like?
Why are you always trying to? I'm joking. There's a north
That could
south
be the
divide.
YouTube thumbnail.
What the So I'm trying to sort of track this timeline of releases. You had a few releases after the first compilation, and then there was the ambient project.
Yes.
Right. And that was at the end of 2020.
That came out 21, didn't it? It took a
21.
while.
Early 21.
We were hoping to get that out in 2020 because it was like tight,
Yeah.
lockdown. We thought we need to get this out. But it was really
Yeah.
hard to, as with every project, that's like a compilation. It's quite hard to.
Yeah.
The process is quite long.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work on that one. But
Yeah.
It was we did it. Yeah, we always kind of. I think in the background we had singles coming out, didn't we?
Yeah, I love doing the singles because you can just nip them out.
Yeah. 100%.
But
Do you use because I know obviously you currently working like music PR and things, right? Do you what's your take on that with the label? I mean, I presume you probably use that to help yourself now.
definitely.
But
yeah.
but back then, what was your method? Was it still very all in house? Or
So the way I started working for the PR company I work for now, we used them for our first release.
Yeah.
Because you knew Troy, who runs the light.
Yeah.
right?
And we worked quite closely with him in a way when we were doing the PR. No, I'm not trying to take away, but we were really keen to get involved. So that's how we became to know Troy. And then years later, got the call, man. But I think it was super helpful to us at the start as an unknown. You just don't know what to do, kind of. You don't know where to send it.
We did. I mean, we used to send music. I don't know if you used to do it. I mean, you worked for the label then.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you did it on that label, but I was making music. I had to learn over the years how to write the perfect kind of pitch, how to stand out, and it was oh my god, I can't. It's different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Can you say that?
Yeah, I think
Different
so.
strokes.
Different strokes for different folks.
I think so.
If anyone's had a stroke.
Not bad.
That's getting clipped.
But yeah, it's I mean, I got to this point when I was making music. And I was like, oh god, people don't want to see these big long messages. And you gave me that advice as well.
Yeah.
You were I wanted to stand out and be I used to put little stories in my promo.
I think some people
I get quite a lot of those sometimes. People saying I'm from here, and I've
but
always
I was making up stories. I was making up. I used to put I used to put an image of a rat on my promo emails.
Right.
I'm bored. I was I'm bored of just saying listen to me tune. It was no one. I mean, but then it actually people prefer that.
Yeah,
just listen to my tune and they just do it because they haven't got time. People haven't got time, have they?
I think it's make it as
pictures.
easy as possible to just get to the fucking tunes. Yeah, the best demo ones we get is when people have planned out their release with us already.
Yeah.
They're so we want it to come out around this time, and I'm it's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
The
it's
balls.
assertive.
Yeah.
It's assertive. That's for sure.
That's when me and Real Tears.
There's a bottle there if you want to refill.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we made up that joke. Let me know when it's ready. You send an EP to someone. It's just let me know when it's ready.
Do you get back to a lot of demos you get sent? Because I think it's so difficult, isn't it, with demos, especially when you get sent quite a lot of them. Because you want to be supportive, but if you were to reply to all of them, you'd be sat there all day and you wouldn't get any work done with the label. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? If you had if you had a team devoted to it, it's you need a team devoted to it.
Yeah.
It hurts. It does hurt to
Yeah, I
be
feel
able to. It's
bad.
Because from our backgrounds, to know that people's not getting back to you. Obviously, anyone it would hurt. Yeah, it sucks. And you can't always do it, but I feel like I had a respect then for labels who you can't just listen to it all. or you can listen to it all, but then you try and find time to get back to people. But you're working on someone's really important release at the time.
Yeah.
Which that person who sends the demos in will probably be in that boat one day when they need their release working on by a label.
Yeah.
That label's going to be taking time to spend time with them. But
it's hard because we set out and we were like, we want to be that label that gets back to every single person.
I think everybody starts from that place though, right?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
No, I want to start a label and just be a dick to people.
Yeah.
that's happened.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, it's fucking happening.
No, I don't mean you. I didn't mean you. I mean, it's happened in the world.
Getting some Coronation Street on me, man.
Put some choreo on and calm me down. No, I meant in general. That's happened with other people.
Sure.
But yeah, apologies if we haven't got back because I do see them all.
Yeah, no,
and
me too. Actually, I'm gonna add to that myself.
Yeah. I mean, people make amazing. People are so capable of making amazing music, and that is always the case. It might not be your time, but you'll always. If people are into music that much, then they'll make it for the rest of their lives. There's so many opportunities to do whatever you want in life, and I think there's. It doesn't mean it ends there. When you send demo to a label, it doesn't mean it ends there. Because I sent my demos to countless labels for 15 years now. And
then eventually they will go, actually, I really like this one.
Well, yeah. It's like it's like the whole thing, people are becoming freelance nowadays.
Yeah.
And, it's, honestly, and I mentioned Sunil Sharp again because he's like a legend, but I think he mentioned about DJing, he said it's easier to do it yourself. Because you don't have to worry about taking a cut and all that, and you know what you want, and it's basically it wasn't just saying that, I'm paraphrasing it, but sometimes it is easier to do it yourself and take control over what you do, and it can be done.
That is good advice. Yeah.
But
you don't need other people to tell you that your shit is good. If you think
but also sometimes people want to belong to a label, and I get that. And
I was going to say, it's interesting because we've got 3 label heads here telling everyone how we don't need labels.
Oh no.
Well, you know what? I think labels should be about nurturing.
Yes.
It should be about nurturing. That's what it is. It's not. It shouldn't be like a really.
It's not a factory.
Process.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Yeah. Well, some can be, and it works. It works for it works for some labels where they can just churn it out and it works and people buy. But there's labels that work on the artist, that work with the artist, and I always wanted to be on a label where I actually I started the project with them.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Well, that's what we get the buzz of, like working with, like hearing the music and then being like figuring out together with the artist, like how could we make this a thing?
Yeah.
That's the fun part. Yeah. It's not like I just want to print it and get it out and like that's done. Like
make them stacks, bro.
Yeah. Like I always get depressed after because you build up such a tight relationship in the run up to a release and then it's like, oh, that's out now, and then you kind of just want to continue.
100%
doing it.
It's definitely. I think the role of the label has definitely changed in more modern times, especially with the introduction of platforms like Bandcamp and that sort of thing. That does offer more like autonomy to the artist than it was back in like the purely vinyl days. Yeah. But then vinyl is also something that is still not. I wouldn't say it's still exclusively for labels, but there's still a thing of like. It's a lot easier to get music on vinyl if you work with a label than if you're self-releasing, right?
Oh yeah.
Because you put quite a lot on vinyl, right?
Well, we've only put a couple on our own Steam. Like we did a couple with the Coca Bryce label.
Yeah.
But he's got like his machine. He's we had nothing to do with the process of getting the vinyl.
You've had a couple of recent ones though, right?
Yeah. So we just last September we had our first record with Matchbox.
Yes.
And then we just had a record out with Remo Teeth, who's from Bristol.
From Bristol.
And vinyls, it's like kind of a new thing for us.
Yeah, how are you finding it?
It's we were just talking about this before we came. Because it's like there's pros and there's cons, like with everything. And it's definitely like the advice I got from someone about doing vinyl before we did it, they were like, it's kind of like, I know it's annoying, but it's good. It like makes you look cool. And I mean, I'm not saying that, but like artists want it. You know, it brings attention.
Young artists want, you know, a lot of young artists probably walk into a record shop in front and think, I want to see my record in that shop. I want to be able.
It means a lot. It means a lot to make. But we always believe in like physical things being with the releases, and we always wanted there to be physical items that you could trinkets that you could have and hold to like remind you of the music. But like, I don't know, like I was just saying before, so we've got this CD EP release that we're doing with Angel Delight and Lux.
Just announced,
that was going to be a record, but we kind of all of us got really bored of waiting. So we decided to not do vinyl and spend all that money on remixes and getting like key rings, rub-on tattoos to go with the release. And then it's just having so much fun with it. Like, so you either get a vinyl and like basically all our money goes into that, or we could spend that money
on other cool shit.
It's like up to the artist, you know.
And
but we present both.
What sort of waiting times are you working on at the minute for pressing and stuff?
I think it varies, doesn't it? I think a lot you can get it quickly, you can get it. It can be a long wait.
I think the general thing I'm hearing is it's like having a baby now. It's like up to 9 months. Which is just too long.
For an artist, you're already past. Like if you're consistent,
that's not what you're making anymore. Almost, is it?
I've released on vinyl like before we had Goddezz, and I was just like, I'm over it. I don't want to hear this. I don't even want to hear this record anymore. And I'm like, I've got all my records and I don't play them. I don't play them out because I was just like, now I am, because it's like 10 years on. But back then I was like, I've improved my methods. I've like changed, and you know, I was like, in fact, most of the time it was a label coming to me saying it's going to go on vinyl, and I'd be like,
I don't give a fuck.
Well, like, because I had no idea, and if you're a young artist, which is a lot of today. And now you come to someone and you say, do you want vinyl? They're going to say, yeah, because why not? Like,
of course.
Because you're not going to front the cost. It's the label that fronts the cost.
Well,
unless you come in with the money and you say it, because people can also do that and say, well, I want to put vinyl out, but I'll also do half.
Interesting. Have you ever had experience with that? I've not heard of that really happening.
I've seen people doing it.
Really?
Yeah. Because, but only, I mean, it depends what kind of privilege you have, you know, to have that money.
Sure, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I just know that people do that.
Do you reckon vinyl is something that you'll stick with going forward then? Because especially now that you've got this Angel Delight and Lux one where you've sort of realised what else you could spend that money on.
It's just, it's not like we realised like it's better. It's just different. And
sure.
I've had a lot of fun with both. But vinyl, I think we're gonna take it release by release, because I just want to if the artist feels really strongly about it being on vinyl, then we'll talk about it for sure. You know what I mean? But it was definitely like a kind of happy accident not doing vinyl on this one, because then we just had we could get all this stuff. You know,
you do have loads of cool physical things. Like you do a lot of prints for your artworks and stuff, and like you've always had the stickers and
posters.
I love stickers, man.
Posters are like. They're so cool.
Yeah. And I think, like you say, it's to have something that's like sort of holdable and, you know, the
physical. Yeah. So nice.
People share pictures still with like posters up on the wall.
I love that. Yeah.
We saw someone wearing a t-shirt someone took a picture of someone at Glastonbury wearing a t-shirt, didn't they?
Yeah, the guy from T-Shell sent us. Fucking name dropping T-Shell. I just caught myself doing that.
That's getting clipped as well. You're going to look so cool.
Tom Hanks has been sending me images of his penis.
I mean, and Tom
Hanks is on the next Godhead, isn't he?
Yeah. He's on his way.
Examining the Tom head.
Examining the Tom head.
He lives in Mykonos. He has a house in Mykonos.
Come on.
Does he?
That guy's
You can go hit him up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's coming up with your label? What's coming up next?
Are you interviewing me now?
Yeah, I want to do. I feel like my ego is getting real big sitting here, man.
We are 4 minutes away from the end of the episode, because I'm conscious that you have to go to
plug
radio.
your shit.
Plug it.
Plug my shit on my own podcast.
Yeah.
So guys, in case you don't know who I am.
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, guys? What is the future looking like for Goddezz?
Bleak and grey.
We're ending it.
Last release to final release.
What is the future? What is the future?
Like, what do you have any 2024 goals for the label at all?
We've talked.
Oh yeah. We're always we have like long meetups. We went on a business trip to Stonehenge to have That felt
Stonehenge,
cool.
is that the last one we did?
To like talk about the direction and stuff.
That's it.
It was
Yeah,
horrible.
We had 3 days in Salisbury, didn't we?
Yeah, we stayed above the Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
It was
Huge.
great. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've got the new Angel and Lux thing, which is really exciting, and then the Deep Heat EP.
Yeah.
It's called Age of Aquarius. And it's beautiful.
Because you just dropped one
Straight
with Deep
out
Heat before, right?
I mean, he just makes so much music. It's
He does.
like,
Yeah, I signed one with him recently. He's so good.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
best. And
He's
then
just
more music from Matchbox. They got a big summer Ibiza hit.
Yeah. How far ahead do you guys actually plan? Like, I'm just curious, as a label owner myself, like how far into the future you're looking with your
I'm not
releases
gonna lie,
and
we're
things?
like mad ad hoc with it. We just like I think we're trying to get more like
You're trying to be more prepared with it.
a bit more prepared because last year was like proper hectic. We were just like, yeah, oh shit, we gotta put that out. You know,
Comes
like
the crunch time over every end of every year.
yeah, it's not sustainable.
But your label doesn't put that across at all. I feel like you come across as that it's all part of some sort of grand plan.
Yeah, it is fully. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, we have like spiritual talks. We need to do a séance, I think. But yeah,
A seance,
I'll be
yeah.
taking you for a séance.
yeah.
I'm gagging for a
Yeah,
seance.
I feel like it changes. You know, the main goal is there, and there is a grand plan. I think.
We do, yeah. We like
What is the main goal?
I think we just always want to put out. We want to aim towards being able to put out whatever we want,
Yeah.
and to make sense. Because
Yeah.
we know, like sometimes it can be a bit like crazy when you start to get to know a label for one thing, and then they go, "How about that?" And then you're just like, "What the fuck?" Like I thought you were a trance label. It's like we want to get to a point where it feels normal to do that, and because we want to put out whatever we want.
Yeah, it's not we don't know what we're doing.
As long as it's good.
Yeah.
We just want to appreciate everything and like put it out there. Like how many different we've got such a variety.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just want to do
We
it.
still want to put out a new metal release, right?
I was gonna say there's a new metal. release
That
I've
is
seen
basically the end goal, is to be able to put out new
That's the
metal
grand plan.
and for it to be
I think that's mine.
accepted by the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that.
I mean, Callie's been working on like new metal influenced
Yeah.
dance music,
I just
which
need the guitarist
on paper
to
doesn't
put
make
those
sense,
on.
but it does work.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
That sounds incredible. I
It's
actually
so
cannot wait
cool.
to hear that. Jesus Christ.
2003.
Right, boys, let's land this plane. Otherwise, you're gonna be late for radio.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you want to say to your adoring fans?
Yo, I
before we-
love you. I love you, Bristol.
Yeah.
I love you, Ollie Kirk.
Put your gravy on your chips.
Yeah, Ollie.
I respect that. Yeah.
Trust us. Always trust us.
That's a good
Always.
one. I like that. End on
No matter what.
No matter what. Trust us. Seriously though, trust us.
Thanks for having us, Miles.
Amazing.
Love
Thank
you.
you very much,
Yeah,
brothers.
lovely.
Big up.
Nice one, mate.
Well, what an absolute riot that was. Wouldn't you agree those two were just the loveliest darn rootin' tootin' boys this side of Mississippi? I feel like there's only a certain number of these intros and outros I can do before I just start to say the exact same things. So if I'm repeating myself, apologies. Or not apologies. Fuck you. Right. Anyway, this is an outro. Thank you for listening to Chang Breeze, episode 18. Next week will be episode 19, believe it or not. If you want episode 19 already, if you're hungry for that, then it's probably already out on our Patreon over at patreon.com/belters. If you join the Belters Club for a mere £5 a month, and you get plenty of dubs and goodies and things as well. And the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing that you are supporting Belters in his endeavours. Thank you very much for listening, as always. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to rate 5. If you're listening on SoundCloud, give it a like, and also the same on YouTube. And yeah, I guess I will speak to you guys next time. In a bit, goodbye, safe.